Hey, Maria. Hey, everyone. Hey, Stephanie, Crystal. Hey, Bobcat, Whitney. How you guys doing? Hey, Kelly. Boy, am I in a good mood. Is my camera different? Is it normally like full screen? So I don't know if anybody got the chance. I've never like uploaded a video before. I got it sent to me, and finally, I have the proof. Oh, is it okay? Yeah, I was out with my sister for the afternoon. She leaves on Friday, I believe. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys all had a good day. Hey, Sweets and Beyond. I don't know if I said hi to Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Cool Gamer. What did you guys get up to? You go for dinner or anything? I bought one Chinese food for one. I heard she got romanced. Your hubby's working. Dinner at a oh, that's nice. Dinner with your son. That's nice. Hey, Cree. Hey, Christine. I don't see Wendy, but hi, Wendy. I just came on. I wasn't going to, but I got all my stuff done today and I've got some free time. So go back to work tomorrow. It never feels like enough time. Going for dinner on Friday. Hey, I'm so happy that you got the clip after months of her lies. Yes. Especially now that she is spreading those lies to a whole other community. Well, that's where I drew the line. You know, you get into another community that you don't know, you have no idea what they're like. For the most part, I've seen, you know, like FBS. I really enjoy watching him. He's entertaining. But you know, like at night, I'll scroll through YouTube, see who's online, try to find new people to watch, and I watch where she goes with her lives. And the other day on Tony's live, you know, I didn't even look at the majority of the chat, and the things that I did see. Okay, Cree. You know, I'm getting threats. People are asking for my personal information. People are taking what she's saying serious, you know, calling me a pedo, saying that I'm abusive. Like it's not like she's going and running her mouth about me and, you know, talking shit about me. She's accusing me of really serious things. And sometimes you just can't sit back and watch. Hey, Wanda. I'm not good at the hellos. Sarah Brown. Tony was not fair to you. Sorry, but it was clear he is favoring Jules. And that's fine. If he wants to favor Jules, that's okay. Just because I don't get along with Jules doesn't mean that he won't. Chances are he won't, but you know, people figure that out on their own, and that's fine. But the difference is when I'm being asked questions by Tony, I'm answering truthfully. It's not hard. If I do things that are rude and insensitive, I'll apologize. I have no problem apologizing. It's not hard. But the lies, it's just why? Why do you have to lie to make somebody look bad? And if you're going to lie, do you really need to go to the extreme that she's saying that I was going to shove my D down her throat? That's excessive, intense. And if that's the narrative that she ran with, I think she should probably see a therapist, because maybe she's being triggered by things I don't fucking know. It's not my problem. But when she brings it and she makes it my problem, I'm going to deal with it. And normally the truth does come out. And that's what happened. I'm really happy that I got tagged. Jules got tagged in it too. So she obviously saw it. I'm sure she's not impressed. And that's fine. You know, when that video popped up and I saw that Jules and I were tagged in it, and it was the proof, you know, my stomach dropped, because in the back of your head, you do wonder, what if I did say something differently or whatever? And I just tell myself, well, I'm just going to have to apologize and move on, and then I watched it and I was right. Sure, I was off on the wording a bit, but it's the point, and for people that don't know the backstory of what came to that video and why it came to that, I'll explain that after I play the video. I don't know how to share my screen so you guys can watch it, but it is on my channel. I believe it's uploaded, and I think people have commented on it. Well, and Dee Dee, of course she's not going to say anything. She is a stubborn, miserable person who is always going to deny. And I think that's just how she's been her whole life, probably. And again, not my problem. I don't know what it is that makes her get so triggered about me. Why we don't like each other and don't get along? She cheered me out for something that didn't even involve her. I made a mistake on a channel, and I played a channel while I was on a live. It was like 2 seconds, if that. I apologized. John didn't even care. He's like, don't fucking worry about it. And in private, on text, he's like, I don't know why she's taking it so seriously. Me either. Whatever. And I even, when she was chewing me out on the channel live, I actually just chose to drop down instead of arguing with her. And I got off the computer. I'm an adult. I'm not going to argue with somebody over something that's not even their problem, So I left it. Next day, I wake up, she's blocked me. And I was new to the whole community. I didn't know much. I'm just learning or whatever. So I went into her live. She blocked me. I couldn't private message her. That's how I would have chose to do it, was through private. And I went into her live and I asked her, like, why did you block me? I don't understand what's going on. And she's like a dictator, she's gonna look down on you and speak to you like you're some child. And I don't do well with that. Like, I'm an adult. I deserve respect. I've not done anything to you. And yeah. To sum it all up, she's crazy. She is. And there's tons of types of crazy. It's just unfortunate. You can't argue with someone who is irrational and delusional. Yeah. And that's what triggered her in the chat. Was I said to her that she was unreasonable. You cannot have a conversation with somebody who is unreasonable. Things are not going to get fixed. The way that I work is, if I get into arguments with friends, family, whatever, it's just an argument. And when that argument is resolved, it's dropped, And that's just how I am. I'm not the type to like argue and be like, well, screw you. I'm done. Don't ever talk to me again. I'm not like that. I don't like the runaway, when people just like drop and run. And that's what she did. She cut off all contact. And she probably didn't like me before that. And that's fine. Not everybody gets along. I didn't really like her either. I found her annoying, and I found that she made everything about her. And it derailed a lot, and I just didn't like it. But I didn't show that. I didn't show that I didn't like her. I didn't treat her any differently. I treated her with respect, and I expected respect back, but I didn't get it. So here we are today for that exact reason. Pretty dumb, eh? It's a pretty stupid way to go about things. And I'm not going to, to this day, I will say I didn't start it. Yeah, I didn't. And that's, if she's got that stream still up and, people want to go look, be my guest. But I think I've proven that I don't lie. I try to be as honest as I can. But on her end, she takes every little thing that I say and twists it over everything. Yet she tells me that I'm nothing. I'm like a speck to her. Well, why do you get so triggered with me? I don't get triggered. I can have a normal conversation. If she wanted to come up right now, I'd let her and I'd have a conversation. I am always willing to have a conversation. Are you going to play that video? Yeah. I've got it up on my computer. Where are you? I'm on StreamYard. I don't know how I can like share a screen, but I'll just play the video. It'll play in the background. And if you guys want to watch the video, it's on my channel. So I'll play it a couple times, throughout the video, so people that are coming in can see it.
Feels really bad. Uh-oh, do we have another gifter?
That I traumatized her and I triggered her. Is that loud? And I know about all of this.
Because you did. Because here's the fun fact, Zeus. You don't talk that way to women. You don't come in and say you're going to shove something down their throat. Your men part to
Good night,
shut them
Bridget.
up.
And there's commentary on the video also. Is it Dildo Swaggins? They are the ones that made this video. Somebody else produced the original, and it was a minute clip of it. And this person then took this video and made their own video, and they were kind enough to send it to me so I could post it. So I just want to make sure that people know, like, I didn't do it. I don't know how to make videos. I have a hard time even trying to figure out how to upload them. But I hope it's loud enough for everybody.
Clip of when Zeus came up on panel that day and said he was going to shove it down my throat, cram it down, whatever it was. And the reason he was going to do that was to shut me up. We're not even speaking on Zeus, but Zeus did say he was going to cram it. He was going to, who has a clip of that?
Well, that's your problem. You are
a punk ass bitch without a penis.
Okay, I bet you couldn't even handle my dick in your fucking mouth. You want to keep talking about it? And for a week prior, she kept making jokes about my ID over and over and over. I bet you every stream that she was a part of and made, she made a comment about it. Because they heard half a conversation on Halloween. My computer was in my room, and I was in the kitchen speaking. And I was explaining something, and I had been drinking. And they heard half a conversation, and so then I tried to explain it. No matter, how many times you explain it. And people, if they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. Whatever. I took it for a while, make jokes, whatever. But, it gets annoying over time. So she then was begging me to come up on her channel to belittle me and make fun of me. I was at work, so I thought I got a few minutes. So I jumped up on her panel, and that's when this happened. And I got sick of hearing it. So I finally said to her, I bet you couldn't even, I thought I said, my D won't even fit in your mouth, but I did not say that. I said this.
Oh,
Did you just talk about putting your dick in my mouth?
Oh,
wait,
wait,
we're
we're taking care of a
about
niece.
it.
And you're talking about her period.
And she said that this comment triggered her PTSD. She had a manic episode. I think what it was is she stayed up all night with Terry Lynn doing God knows what. And I was the punching bag at that time.
Who did it? Yeah, I already have the proof that Amanda's in the hospital, so all of you guys can suck a dick. She sent it to me. And if you think this is anywhere near what y'all have done over there, you can suck a dick. So anybody that says that, like Maria and all of them, you guys can all go suck a dick.
And then on the screen, it says, shame on you for utilizing PTSD as an excuse to be horrible. Gen B 2.0. So this has happened on a lot of occasions with her. Why is it that she can say certain things and attack people, but if it's thrown back at her, then her PTSD kicks in. She has manic episodes. She has breakdowns. She freaks out. Maybe, just maybe, you should spend a little less time online then. That's probably what will help you with your manic episodes, with your PTSD, with your meltdowns. Go to the library. Pick up a book. Get a coloring book. Coloring is really good for stress. Maybe that's something you could do, Jules. Because I'm really sick of you attacking me. And this isn't the first time I've proved you wrong. So, like you would probably do, if you would like to publicly apologize, I'll let it go. It won't be brought up again, and I'll move on. I think that's fair. Because for weeks, probably months, you've been calling me a pedo. You've been telling people that I attack women on a daily basis. You've been calling me an animal abuser. And yes, yesterday you told everybody that Amanda gave you proof that she was in the hospital. So then last night I noticed that Amanda was attacking Jen. What is with the Jen thing? Why don't you just let it go? Jen is boring. It's not enjoyable to watch somebody spiral and crash. Like, maybe your guys' demented heads find it enjoyable, but the majority of YouTube doesn't like it. Like, I don't know what else I can say to you, but you just need to lay off. And if you don't lay off, I'll just keep showing this and showing who you are. Because I obviously have more people on my side, considering the probably in the hundreds of screenshots and videos that I've been sent of you talking about me. I could clump them all together and probably make a good hour video on all of it. Like, I didn't start this, but I sure would like to end it. And there's some other things too. I got sent some videos of yesterday. I went up on Tony Soflo's channel because I heard that everybody was talking about me in the chat, even though Jules says I derailed his channel yesterday, when it just seems wherever you go, it's about me. And like, it's not flattering. Like, you're weird. You make me super uncomfortable. You have like an obsessive personality, and maybe you should just lay off. But let me play some of these. And I'm not going to say who these videos are from because I haven't confirmed if I'm allowed to say or not. But yesterday on Tony's channel, Jules was bringing up that I was an animal abuser. And all these guys in MobTube are just taking her word for it. Like, I don't know if they're just dumb and looking for drama or whatever, but those things can be turned into something serious. And I don't need people attacking me for things that you do. You slander my name. At least when I talk, it's true. And if it's not, or I've made a mistake, I'll apologize. Star. Zeus, you do know that she's cool with Amber, even though Amber has a taxidermy squirrel, and she made her her mascot. Yep. But she's crying about you sending a squirrel foot. See, when I said that I was going to send her something and I was bugging her and I was asking, did you check the mail today? You know, I was going to send a keychain squirrel tail. And she has twisted that into, I went outside, shot an innocent animal for me to get at Jules. Jules, when I wake up in the morning and I'm doing everything and I'm working and stuff, I don't think about you. The only time I think about you is when I pull up YouTube and you're running your mouth like you always do. That's when I think about you. Jules does need a good revelation. She befriends these people when she's desperate, like Amber, Terry Lynn, all them. She hated them. I specifically remember when her and John fell out. She swore up and down that she would never speak to Terry Lynn again. Oh, but because there's some paperwork proving that Terry Lynn didn't kill 2 dogs, she's okay. You, as an animal advocate who fosters animals or did, who loves animals, you just believed it. It's kind of like Glenwood didn't actually get charged for trafficking because he took a lesser sentence. They probably just didn't have enough proof on Terry Lynn. It's hard to charge somebody. It's hard to pin something on somebody. Not always, but a lot of the time. Amber literally has a dead squirrel she got just for Jules. She even decorated the squirrel's glass home. But I'm a horrible person? At first, Jules, I thought she must have something with men. Men must trigger her because you don't leave your house. You sit at your computer every day. You've got one guy friend, and what's his name? I can't remember. Clark. That's it. Clark. You've got Clark. That's it. And yeah, he's not threatening. I thought you had an issue with men. So I thought, maybe that's it. You know, it's mental. Can't really change somebody, so whatever. But here you are all over MobTube. Going on camera, showing off. So I don't know what your issue is. I have no idea. No idea. I don't even think you know what compassion is. And that's sad at 52 years old. She has no Valentines. Yeah, that too. Hey, I didn't either. Being single ain't bad. I think a relationship would probably do her some good. Go on some dates. Bring some pepper spray with you if you're worried. Like, not everybody is out to get you. I think she named the squirrel Bottom Bitch. Fitting. But yeah, so I went up on Tony's yesterday, and I was good. I spoke when I was spoken to. I answered the questions when I was asked to answer. She was flying off the handle. She was, I don't know, I think she dropped like 4 or 5 times. Maybe four 4 times. She dropped off because she got too mad. I didn't even show any anger. I wasn't even frustrated. But Tony asked if we could not speak about each other. And right away, obviously, I'm okay. Yeah, totally. I've asked many times before that to do that. And the last time I asked her to do it was on Code's channel. Code said that, can you guys agree to just not talk about each other? And again, I was like, totally, dude. And Code was like, oh, okay. Well, Jules? Well, then Jules then needs to add stuff. Well, you need to prove to me that you won't talk about me. Bitch, why the hell do I have to prove anything to you? Like, get off your high horse. Just get off your high horse. Marcy, you are foul and disgusting. Get off YouTube, Psycho Zeus. Can you prove that I'm psycho? Or are you just believing the woman that I'm proving to be a liar? You can just go to Jules, go to Jim, go to anybody. Just get the fuck out of here. She is. She's always miserable. Always. And it's sad. It's really sad. But anyways, so we both agreed we won't talk about each other. And then she chimes in and wants to add shit. Oh, if a channel's talking about me, you gotta leave. I won't talk about you, and that's it. And then she chimes in. Oh, Mims is included in this. You can't talk about Mims either. Okay, if it'll shut you up, sure, fine. So great, we went our ways. I don't even think it was an hour. Not even. I don't even think it was 45 minutes. Mims is up on her channel calling me a creep, a pedo, calling me an abuser. Like, what if I went out, Mims, and say I lived in the same city as you, and I happened to cross by some dance studio that you're a part of with your kids, and I went in there and was like, she's a pedo. She's a creep towards kids. That's a serious accusation. And it's not something I would ever do. So what gives you the fucking right to do it to me? Because you're staring at a screen and you know I'm not going to do anything? Like, you think you're tough shit. But if you haven't noticed, everybody makes fun of you. Reddit is full of you and Jules. Take a hint. Like, why is it that you want to live this way? How is it that you are happy? You know, when I go to bed, I'm happy. I'm tired and I'm fucking happy. I had a good day. I got a lot done. I wake up, great. I'm in a great mood. Unfortunately, I allowed it to get to me yesterday, and I had a shitty day. And that doesn't happen very often. Because I'm a pretty upbeat person, happy-go-lucky. Nothing really pisses me off because I don't have any drama in my life. But your life is literally focused around drama. How do you enjoy that? Mims, how do you, like, apparently your husband left you? I don't know if that's true. How, like, and you're sitting on YouTube. If my partner, who I had kids with, if that's your case, I'd fucking be in bed sad as fuck. Like, what kind of lives are you two living? You focus around attacking a 33-year-old male. What? Because you don't like me. Do you ever notice the only time I talk on you is when you've talked on me? And you want to say that you don't talk about me. It's just causing you to dig yourself in a bigger hole. Because it's all online. It's all there. You can see it all. Like I just did. I just proved that you lied. But you're going to try and go about it without speaking about it. I was just going to post the video and leave it at that. But since you want to accuse me of such horrendous shit, I should accuse you and prove that you're a filthy liar and nobody should trust you. This is why you go through friends so often. It's like every 6 months, you're recycling into new friends. And you cycle through all these people. You get along with them until they can't handle your attitude. Then they say something and you just cut them off and you move on. You did it with Terry Lynn. And I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure Terry Lynn ain't going to put up with your shit, and vice versa. Look at how you speak to Mims. The other day when you recorded, maybe it's this one. Let's listen.
Rude to her. She's just like,
yeah.
The way I'll send the clip to you, but the way she speaks to her.
Wait a minute. Why do you have to send the clip to her if it was a clip that was in your group chat?
You're so dumb. You're
Why
so
does
dumb.
he have to send the clip when it was in the group chat? I don't know his name, but I think he has more than one. Who? Oh, Zeus. Well, he said that he posted this clip in Reddit, so it should be very easy to find him.
Exactly, Reddit, not the group chat. You should try replaying things sometimes, and maybe you'll actually understand it. I didn't post anything to a group chat. I was speaking on a group chat, and I posted something to Reddit. Oh, but it should be easy to find, right? Like, Reddit isn't all about you. Try and narrow it down. Try and find me. And I don't even care if people know who I am on Reddit. I barely post. But the way that you speak to Mims, you spoke to her like she was fucking dumb. And yes, but the patience you have is like this. You have no patience for people. And that means usually because the person is very miserable and crotchety. Yes, right here. Jules says we have a picture of her mom in the group chat. I've never even seen her obituary. And to the people that know me, know that I don't even have to say anything. They know I would never. I'm not good at searching for shit, you know? I like if I want to go and find Jules's Facebook, it's not going to show up because it goes from people that are closest to me. I'm not good at that shit. I'll admit it. I'm fucking dumb when it comes to computer shit. Like, I have all of your clips from your Instagram that you started yesterday after our agreement of not talking about each other. You went on Instagram. And you know why, people? You know why she went on Instagram? Because then Tony wouldn't see it. And I'm blocked, so I wouldn't see it either. But people send me stuff. I get it all the time. I'm probably getting shit every day, if not every other day. And do I post it all? No. I pick my battles. You don't. You don't think. You just fly off the handle. It's like you pick somebody and that's your victim. She told SoFlo that you changed your name to her deceased mother's name. No, I didn't. I change my name when I go up on panel. That's how I know. And I went into settings when Jules wanted me to change my name because I was bugging her and I made it just Zeus. I gave her the respect and I changed it. What has she done? Nothing. She is still the crazy old hag that she was a year ago. Miserable and wants everybody to be at her level. Yeah, she pulled lies out her asshole. We have all your old videos, Jules, where you exploit women on drugs. It seems like you find struggling people and you make fun of them. That is your content. That is Jen. You do that to Jen. It seems like you get triggered by certain things like women who are on drugs. I don't know. There's a lot of examples. I can't think of it. But you attack people that are kind of like you, that have mental issues, that are struggling, that have anger issues. Like, you say I stalk you. If I run into you in a channel, which seems to be all the time because you're everywhere, I watch how you are. You're a sad person, and I actually feel sorry for you. So that's why I say, if you want to publicly apologize, I'll drop it and let it go like it didn't happen. The first time I ever saw you on a live was on Siwa's. I wasn't on her live, but I was in her chat. You were saying, why can't white people say the N-word if black people can? Should I have worded it differently? Probably. But you can't tell somebody's emotion or how they're asking a question. Was it ignorant of me to put it that way? Probably. I didn't realize that, but that's a mistake. Mistakes happen. I apologized for it. And I said I am not racist, and I'm not. Where I live, there's like very, very, very little black people. Doesn't mean I'm racist, but I don't know as much. I wasn't taught that stuff. Now, natives, yes, I know a lot. There's lots of natives here, and I have no problems. I'm not racist. But again, I don't understand. If it is such an offensive word that people can say, then why not cancel it out? Why isn't it just something that isn't spoken about? That is my question. Is that going to upset you guys too? Jules, are you going to take that and twist it? I'll own up to everything, and I'll do it on camera so people see my emotions. Everyone was very upset. Yes. And I tried in the chat to explain myself. That was when I was new. That's when I was like new. That's when I first started. I think Siwa's was the first chat that I started talking in. What does that have to do with right now? Well, it's fine. People want to bring stuff up, but I don't care. I don't. Yes, exactly, Star. Owning what you said and admitting to it is what life is all about. People make mistakes. Jules, you should write that out and put it on your wall and read it every day. Yes, like the F word and the R word. People who are special needs, do you see them going around using the R word? Do you see, it, and it's like the F word. Do you see the LGBTQ using that word on a regular basis? No. Now, I'm not against, people want to use the N word and they are of color and it's comfortable to them. I don't know. Then whatever. It's not going to wreck my day. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about it. It was just a question that was unfortunately worded incorrectly. And I apologize for that. And I am sorry. I am being genuine. I am liked by a lot of people in my real life. I don't have problems with people. So why is it, Jules, that you are making such a problem with me? I am so easygoing. What gets to me the most is when people try to tell me what to do. That's it. And I'll admit it. I don't like it. Lollipops. I really don't. I just happened to hear that live. It made Zeus look like a racist. That was when I first saw Zeus ever. And that's fine. And I appreciate you coming on here and questioning me about it. Because now it's resolved. And it's on whoever else to believe me or not. That's not on me. I'm not going to worry about that because I know who I am. Yeah, lies are what get me too. It gets to me. She's thrown around so many small lies that it's not even worth my time to explain it. But when it's things like calling me a pedo, calling me an animal abuser, if that got to somebody, that could end up really dangerous if the wrong person heard that and just believed what you said. Like, you don't see me jumping up on panels and making up shit about you. Do I go on panels and talk about you? Yeah, I do. But if you stop, I'll stop. I said it yesterday, and you jumped on Instagram and you were on there bashing me like crazy. Then you proceeded to jump on Mim's channel and continue to talk about me. But then right after, you'd say, oh, we're not talking about that. Tony, I'm trying. Tony, I'm sorry. Tony, did you see this? Tony, did you see that? Like, fuck. Could you get any further up his ass? You can have him as a friend. I'm not trying to take him from you. I don't make him choose either. You said multiple times on the panel yesterday that it was me or them, because I'm not going to be in the same chat as them. Like, what are we, fucking 10? Like, grow up. The race stuff is just too serious of a subject to have when there are beefs. Yep. It doesn't need to be weaponized. It does not. I was just concerned, and it was the first time hearing it, and I remember a bunch of people were upset. Yep. Because it got turned into something it wasn't. Soon enough, she will feel Lime a dead squirrel in his butt. Oh, yeah. So back to the Mims clip. You know, I had said, if she talked to me like that, I'd slap her upside the head. It's like a figure of speech. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be spoken to like fucking dirt from somebody I call a friend. Like, I don't know, maybe my friendships are different from yours, but when I have a friendship, that person is treated with respect. I don't humiliate them on lives in front of who knows how many people, and then all the people that watch the replays. I don't do that. So I was taken back. I don't know why. It's not a surprise coming from you. It was just weird to bring it up now, though. Zeus obviously does need more education on the subject. Totally. Yep. And I'll admit that. I have no problem. You can never learn too much. I didn't mean to offend people of color, though. I understand I did, but it wasn't my intention. And learning from that, I definitely will think before asking sensitive questions like that. You know, I'm a nice person. They only cry of what is said about them. They have selective memory on what they've said and find. Yeah. And they tend to twist. Not only do they take what I've said and cry about it, but they twist it too every time. Like for example, yesterday, Mims, for some reason, she felt like she was a part of what was going on between Jules and I. But she jumps up and acts all big and tough and says, now don't you dare run. You always run from me. You run and you block me. If there's a way of showing a block list, I'll gladly post it. There's zero. I don't block people. I don't shut people up from having a voice. Even if I can't stand them, I'll still be willing to hear what they say. But I went into your channel yesterday, Mims, when you were talking about me, so I thought it was fitting to comment. I'm blocked. Go figure. This is why I have my channel. This is why I made it. This is why I don't care how many subs I have or how many likes I have. I have 300 people sub to my channel. I think that's great. That's 300 people. That's a lot of people. I'm happy with that. I am content because my voice is heard and I'm not blocked. And I know you watch every single channel, Jules, or every single video. I know you do too, Mims. You guys record them probably. Probably won't record this one. I can see why. I also acknowledge his apology. Thank you. I appreciate that. Live and learn. It's what life is about. We all have made mistakes in life, and we will never be perfect. Acknowledge your mistakes. Apologizing with never doing it again shows progress. Yep. You will never hear the N word come out of my mouth. You will never hear the R word come out of my mouth. And you'll never hear the F word come out of my mouth. And whatever words I'm forgetting, I'm not a foul person. I don't even have to worry about it. I word things wrong sometimes. And does it get me in shit? Yep, like this. But it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. So if you can take anything from this, Jules, stop talking about me. And if you can't, if you physically cannot help yourself, at least tone it down. Stop calling me an animal abuser. Stop calling me a pedo. Stop calling me a creep. Because I am none of those things, and I'm not even close. You constantly are on my ass about my animals. You're the one that sits in your house smoking with your cats. Oh, but you have an ashless or a smokeless ashtray. So none of that is affecting your animals. And maybe upgrade their treats instead of Whiskas. I didn't even know that shit was still being made. How many times have they been sued? I spoil my animals so bad. I bet you after all bills and everything is paid, 80% of my money goes to my animals. I just went and bought $60 worth of veggies and fruit. I didn't even have that money, but I still went and got it for them. They don't need it, but my hens appreciate it. My dog appreciates all the toys and treats that I get him and the quality that I provide him. Anytime that my dog has needed something, I have gotten it one way or the other. Whether that's fundraising, a GoFundMe, working, side jobs, selling something, my dog has always gotten what he needs. And I have a file full of his receipts. And about 2 years ago, I was upwards of 30 grand on my dog because I ended up with a lemon. He's always got to have a surgery. In the last 2 years, he's had 5 surgeries. That's not cheap. Anybody that has animals knows. I've got 16 birds. They are all fed quality food. How do I make some of that money back? I sell them eggs. I don't even look for a profit. I just appreciate that it pays some of it back. What do you do, Jules? Do your cats go to the vet every year? Because it seems like you broadcast your entire life online. So I'm sure you would have said something. She has that lady supplying premium nuts for her squirrels. But if that was Zeus or anyone else, she would say they couldn't afford their animals. Yeah. I consider Zeus sort of like a farmer. So many of the ladies wouldn't understand why you have chickens and such. I don't live in Chicago or Miami. I live in Canada, British Columbia, where the majority of it is forest. I live outside of town. I love where I live. It's peaceful. I can go outside and there isn't a sound. No street lights, nothing. That's how I like to live. I like my privacy. I like my home. And I take pride. I work hard for my home. I work hard to provide for my niece who lives with me. And it's not always easy. It's not. But I do it. And I still have a smile on my face every day. Can you say the same? The comments that I made about your mother, I wouldn't consider it as an attack on your mother in itself. I told you, you should go spend time with your mother because you're going to regret it probably. And whether you do or no, whatever, that doesn't affect my life. But don't go around telling people that I spoke poorly on your mother who passed away. Should I have said anything? No. And if those comments hurt you, I apologize. I won't speak on your mother again. But don't accuse me of making a new account, finding your mother's obituary, finding out her name. I don't even know her name. I don't even know your last name. But don't accuse me of making an account and then going and hounding you with it. I'm not a horrible person. Have they ever seen how chickens are bred for meat? Well, I've said that, Sweet and Beyond. You know, when she goes to the crisis hamper and gets a free food box and there's meat in it, where the hell do you think that came from? Because I can guarantee those chickens were not taken care of. And they were treated like shit. When you're going to the grocery store and you're looking through the meat and you find a chicken leg or whatever, and the bone is actually broken, wonder how that bone got broken, and it was probably when they were alive. You go to McDonald's or Wendy's, none of those animals are treated well. Like, you hounded it and made content out of me saying that I had to put one of my roosters down. You twisted it. You made me out to be horrible. How do you think the animals that you eat are provided to you? Like, are you going to tell me I'm a horrible person because I take my chicken's eggs too? Like, it's the extreme you go to. Yes. And free range is a joke. When you're told on that package of wings, hold on. When you look and it says farm fresh, full, whatever, free range, it's not. It just means it probably has a little bit bigger of a cage so it can walk. Mine are actually free range. I don't have a fence around my yard. They could fucking run away for all I know. And they don't. Oh, and another thing you made a comment on, when I mentioned that my duck wandered off, I was this horrible person. I live out in the middle of nowhere. And my neighbor, I trust them. My neighbor's dog came walking through my yard today, right through all my chickens and ducks. Not a peep out of them. I don't know if you know what peace actually means. It seems like you haven't had peace in who knows how long. But I hope you find it. I just don't think you're going to find it by making a channel on YouTube and constantly harassing and verbally and mentally abusing people. Yes, the constant Jeffrey Dahmer comments are so insulting. How do you go to sleep at night knowing that this is what you do on a daily basis to people? If it in fact makes you feel good calling me all these names, there is something mentally wrong with you. And I'm sure the majority of YouTube will agree with that. The majority of your friends are probably around because they're too scared to tell you how they feel. Look at what you did to Camden. She wasn't even rude. She was just a fucking human being who had compassion and finally said, okay, enough. Enough, Jules. Stop attacking people on a daily basis. And what did you do? You fucking kicked her to the curb and you trash talked her. And you've done it to everybody that's wronged you. And I didn't even wrong you. And you still went at me and made shit up. I have been told on countless times in the last couple days, call the cops, make a report. I know that shit isn't taken kindly at the RCMP in Canada. I don't want to do that. I'd feel dumb calling, hey, I got this girl bullying me online. Can you tell her to stop? I would just rather tell you to stop. Just stop. Because it proved yesterday that you can't. It proves that you are trying to make me look like the obsessed one. And I am proving you wrong. So let's just chalk this all up. You apologize and you keep your mouth closed. And what you did to Debbie the other day is a prime fucking example of your mental illness. You need to stop bullying people. Do you even know anything about Debbie? Do you know what she's going through? Do you know if she's got any medical issues going on? No, you don't. Because you don't care. You don't care what other people are going through. You only care that people listen to you and people do what you say. Debbie was sincere the other day in FBS's chat. When that person came in under your mom's account, she was sincere. She said that that was wrong and she was sorry that someone did that to you. And your response was, we don't even talk. And you know what she said? Instead of just saying, screw it, and left, she said, we don't have to speak for me to have compassion for somebody. And that was you. She is having compassion for you because you lost your mother. And now here's somebody coming in and taunting you. That's horrible. I don't care how horrible of a person you are. That was horrible of them to do that. That is off limits. Nobody should ever have to go through that. And you owe Debbie an apology too, which will never come, Debbie. And I'm sorry that you went through that. And I know it's been bothering you because now your name is being dragged. And it's not fun. You don't know the harm that you actually do on people. You calling me a pedophile, you calling me a creep. What happens if I took that seriously and Mims has mentioned that she has my personal information? Let's say Mims passes that information on to somebody that lives near me and then came after me. And then what happens if I just couldn't handle the abuse, the harassment, the stress, combined with everything that's already going on in my life? What happens if I just wanted to drive my Jeep into a tree and end it all because I didn't know how to deal with all this? Because I was being attacked for something that I'm not. Could you imagine how many people have felt that way because of your attacks? Because you think it's nothing, but that person thinks it's serious. And then you just laugh it off and make some excuse as to why. No empathy for anybody. None. You have no empathy. I'm sure people have hurt you. I'm sure people have wronged you. But that doesn't give you the reason to go and attack other people and make yourself feel better because it was once done to you. You say that you have a therapist. Go. You say you've talked about YouTube. Talk about it some more. You know, I have a counselor. I see her every 2 weeks. And I have since my sister's drinking got really bad. I was taking on my sister's drinking. I had it all on me and I couldn't handle it. I was close. I was really close. And so I sucked it up. And instead of waiting through mental health to get free counseling where there's a wait list, I chose to pay for it. And I found a counselor and I pay for it. And I have been for just over a year, and I am so glad. I'm not the type to go to counseling. I'm not the type to talk about my feelings much. This right here is hard. But I have learned through my counselor. You know, I have a hard time letting things go. I stew on things, like being called a pedo. I stew on it. And with other things going on in my life, I stew on those things. I talk to my counselor. I've never brought YouTube up to my counselor. That's no. I'm not paying to explain this bullshit. But I said to my counselor, I need a way to cope. I need a way to cope with letting things go. So she told me to give myself a time frame. You know, while I'm cleaning the chicken pen, I can stew. I can be angry about it. But the moment I'm done cleaning, I'm done stewing. I'm going to let that problem go and I'm going to move on with my day. That has helped me so much. Just that. Take the advice, Jules. Just do it. Don't even say anything. Just do it on your own. Just try. I know you don't like leaving your house very often. Just go for a walk around the block. Put some music on and just go. Like, I can admit when I'm wrong. And I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel less of a man. It makes me feel good. And I wasn't this person years ago. I was a very miserable person. I was very bitter. I held on to a lot of grudges and a lot of anger, and I hated the way I lived. I have tried to commit S twice, and I am so thankful that I'm here. You know, I don't know where you're at with your issues and mental health, and that's yours. But I don't know what it's going to take for you to realize the damage that you inflict on others that you don't even know. I'm just reading a couple of comments. So I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just talking and reading are just not two things that go hand in hand in my life. Yeah, Debbie. Zeus from Dirty Bitch. Zeus, you were saying all the right things. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I have gotten to know Debbie, and she is a very kind woman who is a sub. What happened to not attacking subs? I was a sub. I was attacked. I am a sub. I don't really consider myself a content creator. I have a hard time doing these. You know, if you haven't noticed, Maria is always up with me. I feel comfortable when there's someone else to keep the conversation going. She doesn't take over my panel. I ask her to be up. before I did this live. I said, I hope you can join me at some point. And she's always willing. You know, you guys all say these nasty things about her, but Maria is the most kindest person. But Jules, you tend to look for the negative in people. Now, I know you guys don't have a good history. Both of you have done things that shouldn't have been done, but that's life. That happens. But when you get on her bad side, a bad side is a bad side. It's the same with me. You're on my bad side, and look. And I feel like I am still trying to be compassionate towards you. Because I'm sure once you were a nice, happy person. And I'm sure you're not going to enjoy this because you don't like being told. I think if you stop all this, you feel like you won't have content. And if I'm wrong, prove it. Jules has this all or nothing, black or white view of relationships. Yep. And unfortunately, at 52 years old, if you've been this way for that long, it's probably going to be hard for you to try and change. I don't know. I try not to judge people. And that's something I'm learning every day. I hold on to things inside and I stew. And these are things that I try to change. Now we need weekly chats like this. Oh, I hate being on this. I'm in my house alone, speaking to a screen. It's hard for me. It is. I want to say Zeus is not Maria's bitch. If Zeus disagrees, he has no issue disagreeing. Zeus is laid back as fuck. And if people haven't noticed, hey, I have disagreed with Maria. We have gotten in heated arguments where both of us are like, what the fuck do we do? But in the back of my head, I don't have the, oh, I'm just going to get rid of her or I'm done. I'm not like that. We're going to fight, we're going to argue, and then we're going to work through it, whether you like it or not. And the next day, we're going to forget it and move on. And that's what Maria and I do. I'm not her bitch. She's not mine. I have a high respect for Maria. You know, when I first came here, you called, Jules, you called me a flip-flopper because I was expanding and looking in people's chats and watching them and commenting. I was getting to know the community. I have stood by Maria this whole time, never wavered, not once. I've expressed to Maria, you know, I feel bad for Jan, or I feel bad for Siwa. You know, I don't know what it is, but I just really like Sophie. There's just something about her that I like. And I know she's a kind person. And Sophie and I can have a conversation now. And it's fine. Are we buddy-buddy? No. Is it possible in the future? Yes. Nothing is impossible. I don't live with revenge or plots to get back at people. Because whether you believe it or not, even proving you wrong, I feel a little bad. Because I'm making you look bad. But I have to remind myself, it's not me making you look bad. It's your own words. It's the proof of you manipulating and twisting. And I'm proving that. And I feel like I'm proving it in a mature way. I'm not calling you names. I'm not looking up your personal information and blasting it. I'm not making fake accounts and harassing you. It was probably like 6 months ago that I made a sock account. Probably longer than that. And I had to get somebody to show me. How stupid. I had to get someone to show me how to make an account like I've done now. You know, it's not worth my time. I'd rather not just not be blocked and be able to say what I want. But that's not life, I guess. You like control, so you block. Same with Mims. Mims, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of any of you. I'm not scared of Tony. I'm not scared of Johnny. Like Mims or maybe Amanda. Do I need to get code to have a conversation with you again? What? Like, you make me look little and it doesn't work. Because anytime somebody has said to me, come up on my panel and have a conversation with me, I have. Even if I'm working, I make it work. Thanks, sweets. I appreciate that. Like, I think sometimes, Jules, you go a little too far. And if you can get your friends to stop calling me a pedo and an animal abuser, I can tell you that I'll lay off. I said it yesterday, and you couldn't follow through with it. And you still had the nerve on your panel to say that I fucked up because you were shitting your pants because you knew I got the video because you were tagged in it too. So right away you attacked me again. Why? She was on that lefty guy's panel talking about you. Why? She's calculated. Yes, exactly. Amanda. You know, I commented on Amanda's video last night because Jules said that she was in the hospital and she had proof of that. It's pretty bad when you have to get proof that your friend is in the hospital. You know, if I find out Maria's in the hospital, I'm going to her inbox and I'm asking her if she's okay. That's what I do. But I commented on it. And I don't know if it's there. I ended up deleting my comment because it was just childish. YouTube. Oh, wrong keyboard. I told her, you're in the hospital and you're making fun of Jen, who is sick. And her friends then came back at me, called me Zeus-ophile, so you're calling me a pedo. Why is it that that word can be used so loosely? I don't think I could ever call somebody that. Unless you've been charged with it and you are in fact that, I ain't gonna say it. How do I look up comments? Where is it? Maybe she deleted it. I don't know. Here it is. Yeah, I think she deleted it. So when I made that comment, she then made a whole post. You guys go on Amanda Prayer Jar's channel and you can look at it. It said, where is it? Apparently you are in the hospital and you still have the energy to bash somebody. That's what I said. And then there's 4 replies, which she didn't show. And I called Susie a sick person. I called her a sick woman because she called me the pedo. Then she had the nerve. What are you talking about? You seem obsessed with sickness. I don't know where she got that. Is this an indication you might be the sick one? First, you attempt to start rumors that I am in the hospital. No, I didn't start the rumors. If you're not in the hospital, then Jules started the rumors. And I played that recording. No idea where that bullshit came from. Now Susie is sick. Go away, Zeus. Does anything on my page look like a neon welcome Zeus sign up to you? No, it doesn't. You made this deal with SoFlo yesterday to stop attacking, bullying, and being a constant nuisance towards Jules. Now you are lurking for new prey. Get the fuck out of here. And then I can't. She doesn't have the rest. You talk about me nonstop with Jules. Like, it's like all these people, it's like you don't realize when you're on panel, it's recorded. When you're on panel, you are wanting people to watch you. How am I lurking and being a creep if this is what you're wanting? You want people to see you. I want people to see this. Like, sometimes I'm boggled by the way these people think. Thing is, when you go from channel to channel bashing people, aren't the content creators there going to figure the same will happen when they fall out? Exactly. Yes. Do people not realize that when they get close to Jules and they express their issues and things that are going on, all that is going into her head and it's being stored. So then when you piss her off, she's going to come back and she's going to use your weaknesses against you. Did she not do that with Camden the other day? I can't stand Amanda. I wish she would go crawling back into the pretending to be a changed person. She never has. Well, it's you'd think it would be a little embarrassing. Amanda, prayer jar. You say you're a Christian and you pray and this and that. All I've seen is you bashing. It's all of you. There's you, Terry Lynn, Heidi, Jules, you. There's so many of you, and you're all coming after one woman, Maria. How is that fair? Maria has a life. She has a husband who is sick right now. Maria has been sick. She has been sick for over a month. I wonder why. Because she's so focused on who's attacking her. And anybody would be that way. I would be that way. There have been days where I've been focusing so much on YouTube, I'm doing a shitty job at my work. That's pretty stupid. Like, this is nothing. But it gets turned into something because of the accusations you guys make. Momo? Has anybody looked up the definition of Momo? It's sick. And it's sad that it's not surprising who it's coming from. Jules, Amanda, Terry Lynn, all them. You all call her a horrendous name. It's just as bad as being called an animal abuser, an abuser, a pedo. You guys don't just bash each other and go back and forth. It's like you guys go for blood. It's sick. Why? What is the enjoyment out of that? Social media is destroying humanity. Yes, it is. Could you imagine where we're going to be in 20 years? I think I was like one of the last generations that played in dirt, that actually didn't have technology. I remember dial-up. I remember begging to play solitaire on the dinosaur computer that we had. I lived in the bush as a child. I came home when the streetlights turned on. You know, when I was out playing, my mom didn't know where I was. She didn't have any contact with me. She just had to trust that I came home when the streetlights came on. And now kids depend on technology. You know, when I ate dinner when I was a kid, we all sat at the table and we all talked. Now it's just like computer. Yep, right here. Nobody that has never done anything to Maria has ever had a problem with her. They don't mention what they did to her first. Exactly. Maria doesn't just like randomly think one day, you know what? I'm going to do this to Jules today. Or, oh, it's Friday. I think today is Attack Amanda Day. She doesn't do that. You make her out to be this horrendous woman, and she's not. Do you know how many friends Maria has that talk to her and tell her, you know, these things aren't true. You are a phenomenal woman, you know, and Maria still gets up every day, goes to work, deals with her relationships, does her home stuff, goes out with friends, socializes, goes for dinner with her husband. She lives a normal life. Just leave her the fuck alone. Numerous times. If you stop, she'll stop. If I stop, you'll stop. Will that happen? Because I'm willing to do it. And I'm also willing to stick up for my friends who are treated wrongly. You stick up for people, Jules, when it benefits you. When Maria sticks up for me because she's a good friend, she then takes the shit beating back because people get on her for sticking up for me. And Maria has stuck up for me lots. And I appreciate that. And I don't even have to say anything for her to know that I appreciate it. That's a true friend. I don't care about age. I'm 33 years old. I'm an adult. I act like an adult. I have no problem with age. The majority of my friends in real life are older, are in their 40s. I don't have mommy issues. And how dare you fucking do that and say that? That in itself is sick because you know exactly why. And you say it to hurt. You go for the most deepest things to try and hurt somebody. Now, maybe if a friend said it to me, I'd be hurt. But it just makes you look stupid. Yeah, Debbie. Right here. Look at that. How many people write that about you, Jules? Purple Turtle. I've realized in this last year that a lot of YouTubers have serious mental health problems. They are probably on social media because they're ostracized in their real life. Probably. Jules has already said that her friend circle is small. She's also mentioned that her friends are of color. I don't know why. Prove something? I don't know. I can probably bet that the last time you went out, Jules, is when Clark dragged you out and sent you a car. That's a friend. I don't care if the guy likes me or not. That's fine. That's his choice. That's great. I don't need people to like me. I've got my friends. I don't need a ton. I'm not desperate to make people like me. But I am desperate to make sure the truth is out there because I will not allow my name to be slandered. I will not allow my friends' names to be slandered. You guys talk about Anne and you call her names and you make memes about her. She is the most kindest woman. Has a heart of gold. But again, you disrespect her or her friends, and she is going to stand up for herself or her friends. Nobody is perfect either. I'm not saying that Maria or Anne or anybody else is always right and they're never wrong. But those are people too that will admit their wrongs. They have no problem. To ask the hypocrisy of Jules, they are currently on Terry Lynn's laughing at a pic of Siwa Moon with dicks on her face. I can guarantee if that happened to you, Jules, you would throw the PTSD triggered card. You cry wolf. And you have cried it a lot. And soon, you are going to be chased out of this community, just like Johnny was from his little mob tube friends. You two have, I don't know what the correct words are. It's like you're going to make a move if it benefits you. You know, I see how Johnny Mac works. And I see how you work. And that's why you two don't get along. Because you two are the same. You're the same. You must be an exhausted person. Mentally. Oh, Susie. You have the sweetest women in your chats, Zeus. Always so sensible and kind. I find these people, and they find me. And it's often because I'm a good person, and people see that. We're mama bears in here. Yep. Jules, you can make fun of me that I hang out with a bunch of women. I don't care. What is that? What are you proving? You're insulting me because of my mother? Does that make you feel good? I'm not going to give you attention to that because it's something that I don't want to talk about. Should I judge you because you go hang out with a bunch of men who seem a lot like you? They have a lot of time on their hands, and they're looking for people to trash because it makes them feel good. Because they've got viewers that are cheering them on because those people are also sad. Oh. I consider Zeus like a son and will be a mama bear when it comes to him. That means a lot to me. I don't have a problem showing my emotions. You do. I'm 33, and it only took me like 25 years to realize being miserable and resentful doesn't really go well with life. My life fucking was destroyed at 18. I was not a happy person. But living and being resentful was so exhausting. And it was the pity party. Oh, so feel sorry for me. Look at me. My life is so hard. Why me? Well, where is that going to get you? You get more attention being a kind person than you do being a nasty person. I don't know what kind of attention you like, but it's not okay. Now you can say you're Canadian and you're American. I know I've only got 50 people in here, but it's 50 people that are seeing the truth and are seeing what kind of person I am, because I'm not being fake. I'm not being dishonest. People in my life can see these videos, and I have no shame. My uncle was married to a feisty Cuban lady once, and her name was Maria. Maria is very feisty, but there's a reason that gets her to that. I've never seen Maria be like, you know what, this person right here made a comment that I don't like, so I'm going to make their life a living fucking hell. I've never seen that. But that's what you did to me, Jules. I didn't do anything to you. You just had an issue with me from the start. They choose to dwell in the darkness. They do. And they are threatened by those whose light shine bright. Yes, exactly. That is perfect. It's really hard to watch people here who have nothing better to do than to upset others. The world is currently not a safe place to dwell. You're right, Zeus. We need to be kinder. It takes time for your brain to adjust to a new way of thinking. You have to give yourself a break to learn. You're not going to learn if you don't try. But if you do try, you will get there. I never thought I could change. I thought, I've been this way for so long. How am I going to change? And I'm still changing. Actually, last week, I went to my boss and I said, I fixate on this and I don't know why. How do I change that? And she told me. Jules, have you ever watched, I think it's a movie, The Secret? I'm sure people have heard about it. You should watch it. There's podcasts about that movie. There's the movie's on YouTube. It's easy to watch. Try it. Carrie. Zeus goes above and beyond for his animals. JJ knows nothing about farm animals, etc. How about feeding nuts to squirrels? Enticing them to run across the street, go in her house, cause havoc. Like, I'm sure the neighbors don't enjoy all the squirrels. They become a nuisance. I had a squirrel. It became a nuisance. The one you talked about for days that I killed based on what I wanted to do to you, that wasn't correct. Again, another lie. It's something that you took that I said and you twisted. That is something you're really good at. Really, really good at it. I actually took a slingshot and a rock and I got the squirrel because it was attacking my chickens. Because it found its feed and the chickens were near it and it got aggressive. I don't know what kind of damage a squirrel can do to my animal. And like an animal is going to attack my animals. It is my job to protect and take care of those chickens. And I don't have a problem. My Muscovy duck decided that she was going to nest in the bush and not in the coop. So I worked around her. I went and got a tarp. I put it over the bush. I got her some bowls, water, food, and I put it there for her. And I check on her every day. I go over there. I give her some live mealworms before the night so her body stays warm. Is that something you knew about? I don't think so. Because you have no education. You speak on something that you know nothing about. I had too many male ducks. They were wearing out one of my females. Did I go and just kill them for no fucking reason? No. I rehomed them. And I made sure they weren't going to a home that was going to turn them into feed because they're good animals. They just need a different home. That's what I did. Those were the first ducks I've raised. I was bonded to them. One of them was bonded to Zeus. I wanted to keep the one, but it wasn't fair to that one to separate it from its brothers. So I put it first before me. It happens. Yeah, but yes. Yeah. I'm pretty positive they're fertilized. I haven't checked the Muscovy eggs because I read online that if you touch them, she could abandon them. So I've stayed clear. I'm just letting her do her thing. I've got 2 females that are broody right now, so they are nesting. And I checked those eggs, and there's babies. So I'm letting her do her thing. I'm not an animal abuser. And stop saying it. Because if this stuff doesn't stop, I'll have to figure out my next step. And no, that's not a threat. No, I'm not looking to attack you. But if you're slandering my name, I'm going to do something about it. I know how it works with lawyers. I have a lawyer that I can contact. I have sued somebody before. I know how it works. And I won. So stop. You can replay this and commentate and laugh on it. But a lot of people are just going to look at you and think you're a horrible fucking person. Not me. I go to bed at night and I have no problem sleeping. I wake up in the morning and I have no guilt. Yeah. Yeah, I've been using my phone. I use my phone flashlight. And you just put it up to the egg. And then you kind of check. And if there's veins, they're fertilized. And there's a baby being made. The RCMP are very, very tough on cyberbullying. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if the other person's in another country. They don't take kindly to it. I've looked into it. I have 2 friends that are RCMP. I like to ask questions. I know a lot. And this morning when I went in, one of the eggs, I guess she had sat on it, so it was cracked. So I took that egg and opened it a bit and checked, and that one was fertilized. So they are fertilized. I don't want babies right now because I really don't want to have them inside because it's really like last night it was -4. Like I don't know what happens if eggs freeze, if they're still fertile. I have no idea, but yeah. So I'll be happy if I get eggs or babies. If I don't, that's okay. It'll happen again. You didn't put up your banner. Everybody's so anal about their banners. Someone else said it in their channel too. Why didn't put the banner up? What's the banner? If you guys want to donate to my PayPal and I buy chicken stuff with it, then be happy. But I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to do all that. I'm just here to say my side because people like to block. Hopefully Jules will take back the slander. She did not appreciate being called a sex trafficker, so she should stop and think about what she says. Yeah. I'm not perfect. I say things. I attack. But there's a reason to why. I didn't come in this community and attack people for no fucking reason. I attack when I'm defensive because people are slandering my name. I would like it just to stop here. I don't want to have to take it further. I'm not one to threaten and go and look up people's crap and blast them. Jules, it's known. Your information is all over the place. Your address, your phone number, everything. It's all out there. Not once have I done anything. It doesn't bring me joy to hurt somebody. You, it seems like that. And that's something, that's a really shitty quality. Don't say that. Why? I would never. I don't care what she says or does to me. I wouldn't. Because in one sense, she is right. She is a single woman living on her own. And I wouldn't want to take that safety net away from her. But for some reason, I get blamed for everything. I get blamed that people were showing up at her house. People were calling her. People were making fake accounts. I get blamed for it all. And I'm not one that's ever done it. Like, look at Whitney. Zeus is the coolest. I couldn't stand Whitney. I couldn't. And now I like her. And I like her more after what Jules did. She's beautiful. She's a babe. I don't know what part of her you think is fat. She doesn't have a double chin. She was asked to come up on a panel, and she did. No filter, no fucks given. And you had to take that and turn it into an attack. How does that make you feel good? How do you laugh? Whitney, again, is a sub, and you attacked her because you didn't like her. You didn't like her opinions. I didn't like her opinions. I didn't like some of the things that she said. Doesn't mean I want to go and attack her. And you don't have a triple chin. You have a chin. I say things wrong. I didn't like her after the photo. I liked her before. She's somebody that grows on you. And I'm sure I'm that for many people. I'm not looking to invade your space, Jules. I'm not looking to get into the mob tube and turn them all against you. I've told Tony, just watch. You have proven to be nasty. You have proven to take over channels. You've been proven that you lie to gain for yourself. She shows her insecurities when she finds something to put down a beautiful woman about. Exactly. Yes, and Whitney, this community is the best. These people are the realest, most honest, kind, giving women I have met. I was struggling at Christmas, and the outpour of support that I got, I was shocked. I was amazed. I was really struggling. My phone was cut off. Christmas time, I was struggling to get presents because my niece for the last 2 years have had shitty Christmases because her mom is struggling. And these women came together and they helped me. And the least that I could do was to prove where the money went. I showed them the gifts. I showed them all under the tree. I showed them after she did them. I shared what she bought me. I shared a beautiful letter that my niece wrote for me, a 3-page letter. And Angela had the nerve to take that whole chat and show other people. Did that make you feel good, Angela? I don't even think I've ever had a conversation with you. So therefore, I don't think there's any problems between us. But you've created problems. I've let it go. It's fine. You've apologized. I pick my battles. But that hurt. It hurt that a stranger did that. You know, look at all the unnecessary drama that caused Maria. You guys first went after John. And look at, I know he's not the most perfect human. And I know that he doesn't make the greatest choices, or he has habits that really control his life. But how does that affect your life? But you involved yourself and you all attacked him. And look at him now. He's doing great. But now you guys have turned to Maria and you're going after her the same way, and she doesn't deserve it. So just stop or tone it down. Insult each other online, but keep it at that. Don't get nasty and find children and letters and old lives to use against her over and over and over. Like, I don't know how many times, Jules, you have used Brooke's dad against Maria. That had nothing to do with you. That was between Maria and Brooke. They talked it out like normal human beings. Maria apologized. Maria feels bad, and they've moved on. They have left that. Do you think Brooke enjoys hearing about that over and over again? Somebody that you cried over like a breakup because she couldn't handle you anymore. And you dragged her through the mud. And I bet you called her job. It's a common occurrence, you guys calling jobs. I've actually had to sit my boss down and kind of give her info about all this. And do you know how stupid you look and sound when you're like, I sit on YouTube in my spare time. There's a lot of drama, and there's some psychos that like to call jobs and make false reports. Now, if somebody actually got through and say one of Brooke's bosses believed you and Brooke was let go, do you know how damaging that could be to somebody? You could ruin their lives over one phone call. You do not realize how damaging that is. If I lost my job and say I couldn't find another one because it's out there in a town that I live in that I'm a pedo, if I had no job and all these people thought that about me, why would I want to live? You see how damaging that is? And it flows out of your mouth. That's sick. I'm the one that my friends call when they're having issues with their boyfriends. I have dragged one of my friend's boyfriends out of his house and dealt with him because he was abusive. I have gotten 2 friends out of severely abusive relationships because they trust me. I had another friend in Kelowna that was being abused. I went to her house and I dealt with him while she packed. And she came to my house, slept in my bed, and I slept on the couch because I'm that person that people come to. So think before you call me that again. Debbie. I want an apology, but I don't expect it. It would probably make you look better if you sucked it up and you apologized. And it's sad that like 90% of YouTube knows you won't. And honestly, don't even bother saying it if it's not sincere. Because for me, an apology goes a long way. I'm not somebody that holds grudges anymore. It's not worth the stress. How ironic JJ calls you a pedo when her boyfriend and her were grooming young women for only 10% profits. Yeah. Someday, I want to work with kids. What got me through high school and got me my credits, because I was such a little delinquent and I didn't go to class, I got shoved in the special needs room and I was told to teach them their grade 1 math, their social skills, how to get on a bus, how to go to a grocery store and budget for your grocery list. That was what got me through school. And I found my passion. And that is what I want to do. I want to work in the school district with special needs kids. And I want to teach them living skills. And I'll be damned if you're going to try and ruin that. Because Mims, you have my information, right? You know where I live. You know where I work. Okay. Fuck. You do. Now what? You could try and ruin my life, but I'll come at you legally. And I'm sure I'll have a lot of support. And I'm sure I will win. So just cut it off here, because I'm not for it. It's unfortunate that you don't like me. I know I'm a good person. I don't need to be told that. Why did I let Teresa know my information? I didn't let her. I don't even know if she has it. She says she does. Zeus, you are working with kids. You are helping your niece. You are that person that she will always know stood by her and got her through the tough stuff. You really are amazing. 1 in a million. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's super nice. I love those comments. And that's what makes me happy for being on here with these 43 people. I don't care how many people are recording it and are going to commentate it later. I don't care about a lot of it, but this is what I care about. Mims, the ultimate Karen. Yes. Just a sec, sorry. This whole thing is hopefully a realization for even one person to realize the words you use could destroy someone's life. Is your niece still on YouTube? No. And I have asked her several times. Yeah, I don't think she watches any of it anymore. After Jules told my niece to her face on here that it was her fault that my sister is drinking and isn't around, I told my niece, it's not worth it. I really don't want you watching it, and I would really appreciate if you stayed off of it and didn't even watch my channel. And all I can do is hope that she is respecting what I asked, because that's all I can do. Yeah, she's really protective, and she's a very sensitive woman. And something that flows out of somebody's mouth so easily, and it's so damaging, you don't realize the damage that puts on her because she already blames herself. And this is something I spoke about before Jules even said any of that. It's hard to put it into her brain that it's not her fault, that it's a disease. And trauma has caused it. And she doesn't need assholes online making comments that don't affect them and they can go on with their life just fine. Meanwhile, she's crushed and now believes it even more that it's her fault. I hope that made you feel good. You attacked an 18-year-old for no reason because she came in your room and she blocked your mods and she harassed you a bit because you were harassing me. Your friends stick up for you. People come in defense for you. Jules, you say your sister's watching all the time. You've even told me that your sister has all my personal information too. Is that not weird? Is that not odd that you're having your family look me up? Jules needs to learn to practice better restraint. Yeah. And it's not easy, but anybody can do it. Words matter so much. I told my son since he was a little kid, that our purpose in life is to help others get through it. Yes. Yeah, totally. Like, you're 52 years old, Jules. You shouldn't be acting like an 18-year-old and fighting with an 18-year-old and then taking the most sensitive things to try and hurt her. You should just be blocking and moving on and not giving it any attention. But you gave it attention for weeks. And again, it turned around and bit you in the ass. And you were chased off YouTube. You were mad. You were mad that it didn't work for you. So that's when the comment of my D comment, you turned that and you twisted it and you made it to your advantage to try and attack me. And maybe it worked for a couple months, but look at where we're at now. You look so dumb. You look stupid. Dee Dee says, because she trolls a lot of teens to a bunch of old ladies who can't control themselves. Yes, that was a long live. I think I fell asleep when that happened, but I think that's when she claimed that she was violated. Yes, that was exactly it. It backfired when she attacked my niece, and a lot of people called her out, and she probably felt backed into a corner and she felt attacked. So she took something I said, she twisted it. And I think that's where the pedo comments are coming from. It all comes down to her. I'm not the problem. Maria's not the problem. Anne's not. Debbie's not. You are the problem, Jules. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're the only one that thinks that. And maybe the few friends you have at the moment. Look at Reddit. Look at it's all you. And it's not good. It's like Jules, Mims. Jules, Mims. That's embarrassing. And that's online for everybody to see forever. Like, how is that something to be proud of? What, you just look past it like it's not there? But everybody else knows. Everybody makes fun of it. If I was you, I'd be humiliated. That's wrong. I've never come across this much hate. It's like, I can see how easily YouTube can consume a life. I can't imagine not having a job and YouTube being your priority. You know, you say this is your job, Jules. This is your, you know, you say you have a graphic design. You know, if I had a graphic design, I would be proud of it and I'd tell people about it. Where are your clients? You're on YouTube all the time. If you're not live, you're on someone else's live. If you're not on a live, you're in some chat. And that's what I meant the other day. You were making that chat at FBS's about you before this fake account came in. That's what I was referring to. Like, you need to switch some things up and try and be happy. And don't do it for anybody else but yourself. Reddit makes her look bad. She looks bad. I think that's why she is trying so hard to gatekeep her new community. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Gatekeeping. You know, yesterday, this Arthur guy on MobTube on Tony's channel, it was after the live ended. He was on the phone or something like that. And this Arthur guy was saying that our community goes into the MobTube's community when Jules is there and starts shit. I have a hard time believing that. And if anybody has proof, can show that. But I don't know. I guarantee that there's a Jules comment before people come in and attack. You know, she tends to make a lot of comments about people. People are going to hear about it. People are going to tell that person she's talking about, and they are going to retaliate, and they're going to go looking for her. And if she's in the comments, they're going to be in the comments, and they're going to attack. You know, there's things that, I don't know, Jules, you just need to learn to be happy. Whitney. Because that's what Jules started saying when she used to see me in the mob community lives, so they believe her now. I know. I don't know what it is about that WASP filter, but they believe her, and I don't get it. I think in a male majority, you know, area of YouTube, when a female comes in, maybe they're dogs. I don't know. I don't know, but they'll get to know her and they'll realize. Jules gives men special privileges. They can go into her enemies' lives. Yep. Yeah, she does. And that's what she's doing with Tony. She doesn't like Tony. She's just trying to use Tony. She uses his platform as a way to voice her reasons, her problems. She's constantly trying to get them to come after me. She's constantly trying to make them see me as a bad person. I don't care what these guys think of me. I enjoy some of their chats. In some of Tony's lives, I enjoy them. I don't enjoy, when he's attacking children or whatever. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy FBS. I enjoy hearing him talk about Johnny. I enjoy him hearing what he has to say. He's a smart man. He's good with words. I enjoy watching that. That is what YouTube is for. That is why he is doing this. So people will watch him and enjoy him. She does. She already has them brainwashed. And they are blocking whoever she says to block. Exactly. She was trying to make a point the other day that she wasn't the one blocking me. But when you're on panel, you have a private chat with whoever's on panel with you. And they probably have group chats. She probably tells them. Because that one guy, I don't know if his name was Robert or what, but right away. Oh, I blocked him for you, Mims. That's a dead giveaway, dumbass. When KK's lives happened, Lindsay and Julie BC Canada had to beg for forgiveness, but not George. Yeah. That in itself, like, look at her behavior when she didn't know who was exposing Jen. It's because she was mad it wasn't her. What prime content? Look at all the views she would have got with that information, with those videos. But she's looking at it in a different way than that Kay's camera was. I genuinely think that Kay's camera person was trying to make it so Jen actually had to leave. Sometimes people don't have a choice. Sometimes people are stuck in relationships, and it can be men. Men can be abused verbally, physically, and unfortunately, they take it a lot more than, say, a woman would. And no offense, but men are ashamed to admit that they're being abused. I would probably take it. Clint seems like a good guy, but he's stuck in a shitty situation. Hey, Penelope. Maria, I don't know if you want to come up. My throat is starting to hurt. No wonder Maria's lost her voice. I never talk this much. Just a sec, guys. People don't realize what lying can do to a person. Lying sucks. Lying, I can't, that's one thing I fixate on, My niece tells me a white lie and I know it's a lie. I can't, I hate it. I hate it when people lie. I don't see the reason for it. I actually get really guilty if I lie about something, or even if I don't tell someone something that I should probably tell. I am too honest. Like sometimes I have to tell myself, nope, I don't need to. I don't need to explain this. I don't need to talk about this. I need to learn to let go more often. Oh, my fire's probably out. Hold on. Oh, damn it.
Oh, thank God.
I've never bought them before, but I bought these like eco logs. So I think they're like condensed shaved wood or something like that. And apparently they'll burn like overnight. So I put one of those in it. So it saved my fire. Doesn't look like Clint is eating food. I don't know if he's got a channel and he comes up. I don't know. Today's video. What are you talking about? Have a good night. It's probably not even worth catching the replay. I just ramble. I enjoyed Valentine's Day. I got Chinese food for one. And then tomorrow I'll go buy half-price chocolate. Just a standard, regular wood stove. I'll show you. Jules will probably say I'm lying. Just a standard baby. That. Well, I hope Clint's mom, and I'm sure she is, helping him out, you know. I don't know how long they were in a relationship for, but it seems like he is doing better. Maybe Maria fell asleep. I got a heart-shaped box of chocolates the other day because hubby was days early. He was there. I put them away. Thanks for reminding me. I'll put the link. Maria, where are you? See, she probably fell asleep to this. I had that exact stove, and it had a screen so you could open the glass door and use it as a fire. Oh, that's cool. I've never, I had a wood stove at an old house when I lived with my sister for a bit, but I never did much with it. But this, like learning how to do it all, I like it. I love this style of living outside of town. Like, yeah, I spend more gas and it's a pain if I forget something at the grocery store, but overall, I love, I've got 4 acres of land and the majority of it is forest. So right now I've got a project going. I'm going to cut down some trees in the backyard and I'm going to cut them up into logs, measure them, and I'm going to attempt to make a coop like old school style. So cut notches in the wood and then connect the logs that way. And I'll have to strip them of all their bark. But I'd like to make a second coop. So I'm gonna try that. I've never done it before. but I watch like TV. I watch the majority of like survival shows. So like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Alone. The first season was on Vancouver Island, and they haven't done another one because it's so hard to live in. It's a rainforest, you know, it's 80% rain. And I love shows like that. Like, I think the other one is Alaska Frontier or something like that. The Next Generation. I've been watching that. And it just makes me want to go outside and do stuff, you know? Like, I'm like a kid. I like being in the bush. I like finding new trails. Like, that's what I did with my sister today. We went out on the back roads and I found new spots to get firewood. It's a good investment with how expensive eggs are right now. Exactly. Yep. I just messaged my neighbor today. I got one of her packages from Amazon, so I messaged her and let her know. And I asked her, "Hey, I've got a lot of eggs. Would you like some? I'll give you a carton." And she's like, "Actually, I'll buy them, and I'll buy 3 cartons a week because I go through so many." And then from that neighbor told the other neighbor, and now that neighbor. So it's nice. I love where I live. It's like I've got 3 neighbors that are like remotely close to me. And yeah, so that's good. I've been looking for some side jobs because my hours have dropped at my job. So I'm not making enough to provide for all my bills. It sucks. So I'm going to start bundling up firewood and selling it to one of the gas stations here. And my eggs. Those are my side jobs right now. And how is my sister doing? Well, she was recently in the hospital for, I think she said 6 or 7 days. She's at the point of her drinking that when she drinks, she pretty much automatically ends up in the hospital because her liver is just so damaged. She's leaving for treatment on Friday, I believe. So today we hung out and spent some time together and said our goodbyes, and told her, you stay a month and I'll make you the best care package. The last care package that I made for her and delivered to her, the ladies at the treatment center cried. They thought it was so sweet. I'm a good person. I know I am. And I don't know why I feel the need to prove it, you know? Back to the Basics is great book. Oh, for living that lifestyle. It has a lot of ideas. I built my chicken coop from that book. Ooh, I will get that. Back to the Basics. I'm going to look that up. Put that in Amazon so I don't forget. Back to the Basics. Back to the Basics. Right there, right? Yeah. I love that stuff. I love anything that has to do with like outdoors, fishing, hunting, hiking, you know, crafting. Those are things that I do, and they make it out like I abuse animals. Like, it's just something I find interest in, and I'm not the only one. You know, people craft all the time out of stuff. So, like these, like that's an antler, and I put a shotgun shell at the end of it, and I'm going to make like a little stand so I can display my rings at a store here. And I make rings. They're nice. They're shiny. They're smooth. They're beautiful, like one of a kind with all the markings. And this is antler bones. So what I've done is I've cut each side here, and then I've dremeled a hole into it. And then you just constantly sanding with like a few type of sandpapers. and then you polish them, and each one probably takes me between 2 and 3 hours to make. So I've got 4 here, and then I've got tons of stuff outside on the porch that I work on. I just haven't been doing any of it lately because it's so cold. You know, like if I find roadkill, like a squirrel, and it's not rotting, disgusting, like just happened, I'll, put it in a bag bucket, and then I take parts, and I am very kind. Like I don't like dissecting, like it just, I don't know. It just, I try to be respectful. And then I take parts and I utilize them, and I get salt a bucket. I dehydrate them for about 6 weeks. And then like this, it's a keychain and it's a squirrel foot. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. This is what I enjoy doing in my free time. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't go to parties. I've got my select friends that, come over, have a beer, cut firewood, help me with stuff. That's what I do. When I'm out in the bush and I find stuff, like, look at this. Can anybody tell me what this came from? It's obviously a tooth, but it's quite large. Like, look at how long it is. But like, what did that come out of? See, like, and I've got a few, and like some of them are very small. Like this one's tiny. Like, so obviously it goes in that deep, and then it's that big. Yeah, like Etsy. I've thought about actually making an account and start selling my stuff that I make. But I never know price, and I actually enjoy gifting them to people because a lot of people actually like that stuff. Like, Jules, that squirrel tail, I put a lot of effort into that, and it wasn't made for you. I actually already had done it. I really want to learn how to make a hat out of what are they? Raccoon fur, or a mink. Minks are really bad in this area. I live right by a lake, so minks are around. They're really bad for chickens. Like my neighbor 2 houses down, she lost all her chickens to a mink last year, and it's traumatizing. You get attached to these animals. And then like this, that's either bear or cougar claw, but it's like a shedding. Like I don't collect this stuff on a Jeffrey Dahmer style. I collect it because I want to reuse these animals that have died. Natives do it. Yeah, exactly. Those teeth would make great Native American style earrings. Exactly. I found a dead owl on the side of the road, and that is rare. So I used one of its claws, and I dehydrated it, and I have it hanging in my car, and everybody that sees it loves it. And like these are deer teeth. Definitely didn't go to the dentist. But like, I got lots of stuff. I even have this, and I don't know what it's from. Maybe it's a really, really, really young baby deer, but like it's the tiniest little hoof. It doesn't look like that on the camera, but it's so tiny. These are things that I enjoy. Doesn't mean that I'm like bloodthirsty to kill animals. I do not kill any animals to like do this type of stuff. It's more enjoyable to search for it. Walking up and down creeks beds, looking for sheds of antlers. That's the type of stuff I like. It doesn't mean that I'm fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. Indeed. My brother is also an alcoholic, but he refuses treatment. It's just awesome. She's ready to go. That's, one thing I tell my sister is you are making progress. It doesn't matter how much progress, you are still moving forward. You know, she still gets up and goes to the hospital, even though she's been there 10 times and they know her and she's embarrassed. She still does it. You know, I think, and I want to believe that this time is the wake up call, because she drinks and she's weak. She can't walk. My sister used to be bigger than me, and I think I'm like 170 or something. My sister, and I think she used to be like, I don't know, over 200 pounds. And now she's down to like 130, I think maybe 120. She's skin and bones. Like, I felt her hips today. I could put my hands around her thighs. That's mind blowing to me. Like, great on her. You know, now she can get healthy. She's lost a lot of weight. You know, she's got diabetes. That's going to be helpful to her. She's eating better. You know, she's diabetic. So she's eating fish, chicken, steamed veggies. You know, she's improving. And I am just hoping that this time is the last time, because I don't know how I could go on in life without her when I feel like she's the only one I have. Like, yeah, I have my niece and I have my nephew, and I love that, you know, but I have a different type of bond with my sister. She's my mother figure. She's the person I go to when I need to know how to cook something. She's the person I go to when I'm having a hard day. And I haven't had that person for 3 fucking years, because alcohol has controlled her life. And you, Jules, used it against my fucking niece. You know, when Tony dropped the live and it was me, Tony, and Jules, she turned into a different person on panel. She got nasty and she called my niece a fucking bitch. I lost it. I don't know if anybody on here has seen me lose it, but she just sat there and stared at me. Like, would I call your mom some foul names? Never. I don't know her, and I'm sure she was a wonderful woman. And you could be that person if you choose, Jules. My sister has an addiction to alcohol. You have an addiction to negativity. It's like you have these blinders on and all you see is negative. And I guarantee she's going to watch this live and laugh and, oh, fuck, he's so stupid. He's so wrong. That's not my problem. My dad is doing well. That's something I don't want to bring up either. I don't want to give them more info about my life. I hope you tell her that. Your sister needs to know that. She knows. We talked a lot today. You know, like, it's hard because she sits there and she cries, and I feel so much compassion for her. And then it's like she does, you know, I don't cry. I have a hard time showing emotion. You know, if anything is gonna get tears in my eyes, it's my niece. Like, I see so much of me in her, and I saw the path she was going down when she lived at home, and I took her and I brought her to my home. I made sure I got a 2-bedroom house because I knew that day was going to come. I told her all the time, you ever need a place, I want you to come to my house and not a friend's, or, you know, go to drinking or go to her boyfriend's and live there. It's just not a path that I want to see her go down. That was your Valentine's Day gift. Your talk with your... Yes, totally. Yeah. I told her I was going to buy her flowers for Valentine's Day, but then I didn't because she's leaving soon. So they'd just sit at her house. So we went out in the bush. I like taking her out in the bush. she's like a stress case. She gets nervous easy, so it's kind of fun to take her on trails that are like treacherous, and she thinks she's gonna die. I find amusement. It's always fun. I always make sure she gets home at the end of the day. It's like Maria. Like, I don't know. I love Maria. I think she's so great. I would, if I lived close to her, she'd be so fun. You know, yeah, she's older. She's a mom. What? I don't care. My boss is older. My boss calls me her friend. She doesn't refer to me as her employee. She refers, I'm her friend. And that is so meaningful to me. And you guys, I love coming on here and seeing you guys and hearing about your days. I love being a part of a group chat, on Instagram. I love it. I feel it feels good. This group chat that Jewel speaks of, that we dox people, we trash people. No, we don't. Sure, there's talk about YouTube. Jules is a part of chats that are talked about YouTube. It's a way to get to know people, and our group chats are full of memes and what's going on in people's days. What Debbie or what anybody's going through. It's not some conspiracy that we're plotting against people. We're not. You like Maria because she is armed in the Everglades. I like a lot of you. A lot of you are great. Whitney, what part of Canada do you live in? I've never been over to Ontario side. I've flown in for and then flown out because it was a transfer flight, but I've driven as far as Calgary. I drove to Calgary last winter. My dumbass. I didn't think about the snow, and I had a different Jeep. I had a 2019 Jeep Cherokee, so it was lower, it was nicer, so it's good. But I have never driven through so much snow in my life, ever. And I did it for a friend. Drove 24 hours so I could hang out with a friend that I hadn't seen in a few years. And it was fun. I've thought about bringing one of my friends up on here, kind of telling them about it and see if, everybody's in Ontario. See, Toronto. Yeah, I live in a rainforest. You have to get through forests to get to me. And it's a beautiful drive. Everywhere is beautiful here. A lot of people say that this is like where I live is like the ultimate destination. It's like a mini Hawaii at the ocean. Yeah, through the Rockies. That was my first time, and that was crazy. And how flat it was. Like when you get through into Alberta or Calgary, and it's like flat. Like here, it's mountains everywhere. I live in mountains. But down that way, I would love to drive to Ontario. That'd be fun. I love doing road trips with Zeus. Like when we drove to Calgary, it was so fun because he gets excited for new places. We get out at different spots and he loves it. And he's so good in the car. He's the best. He's the best companion. I take care of Zeus better than I take care of myself. And I'm not an animal abuser. Yeah, BC is very beautiful. Living the dream. 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, I guess. It's like 12:30 where Maria is. She went to sleep. Well, I think I have proven my point. Drive through Manitoba and Saskatchewan. It's so flat. You see a clump of trees and there is a house there for protection from the wind. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that would suck. You could make your own snowshoes with wood from your land and deer hide. I really want to learn how to do the process for deer hide. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that book. That's great. I'm really excited to try and build a little coop for my chickens. It's so hard to get the time. I'm the type that starts a project and then I start another project and another project. Like I've got a whole bunch of pallets outside because I was going to make a pallet bed frame and I never got to it. Now that I got the chickens, they take up so much time. Like I got to put them to bed actually. Their door's still open. But all right, well, I'm going to end this live. You know, if anybody ever has questions or people hear stuff about me and are unsure, just ask me. I'm going to be honest. If I screw up, I'll own it. If I say something, even if I say it out of anger, I'm always going to apologize and I'm going to mean it. I'm not the nasty person that Jules thinks I am. And I hope that she stops. You know, like Jules, what you did to me, you've got to prove it. You've got to prove it. You're either going to do it or you're not. You know, I didn't come on here to call you all these names and shit talk you. I came on here because I'm showing the proof after months of you accusing me of something so disgusting. So next time, think before you speak and maybe think about how that person will react to what you say. Have a good night, guys.